Welcome to my channel. I'm Tatami. Here I talk about whatever I want to talk about, and today I want to talk about Black families. Stay safe and be careful. And I say that with all the utmost seriousness. Stay safe and be careful. The thing is that I think a lot of people don't realize, like, the same way we watch really elite, wealthy celebrities, politicians, etc., have a total disconnect from what the average person, the average worker, the average lower class person goes through financially, emotionally, communally through their average week and month. The mental gymnastics we have to kind of go through to make sure we survive each month. These are challenges we rise to because it's a part of survival. It always makes me sad when I see older generations talk about, like, newer generations are so soft. Back in my day, you'd have a blizzard and you'd have to walk right through it. And I'm like, but we shouldn't have to keep doing this type of shit. That's called feudalism. You guys were a part of a classist society that dictated that you had to work to the bone. You had to slave until your arms fell out of the sockets, but certain other people didn't. And that's a lot of what millennials are talking about. Is it's kind of disgusting that certain people should get to never have to work, but other people are expected to work to the bone, or else they're a lazy, good for nothing piece of shit. So, there's a huge disconnect there, but there's also a disconnect that I've noticed in another way. So, as somebody who is half Latina, who is Afro Latina, I get approached by Latino people sometimes when they feel like claiming me. You know, sometimes they see it in me and they need a source of comfort. And sometimes we connect in, like, they're not, anti black or racist. They just see it in me and understand that, it's something I can speak on too. Recently I ran into an elder that I really admire. She's somebody who, like, I trust her enough to give her my sewing machine, if that says you anything. Like, I trust her enough to give her the sewing machine I moved out of my house with, and she'll make things for herself or for others, because, like, I trust her character. Her character is somebody, like, y'all, her character is one of those people who has on her car written messages of peace. Her character is thus that she is out there on the streets holding signs of peace long before the coronavirus. Like, last summer, I remember driving past her, seeing her holding a sign and talking about peace and love in America. Like, that's this woman's character. But she slightly mocked me when I was talking about, like, being nervous about taking my kids outside, being nervous about me going outside, being nervous about my husband having to go out for work and me having to sanitize his shit when it comes back. And she's like, there's only 13 people tested in San Mateo, blah, blah, blah. But here's my thing. I want you to really seriously look at who are the places most affected by the coronavirus. Where are the places with not enough resources? Who are the people who are going to be? Remember when Italy went through their, like, some people, we gotta choose. This always fucking happens. Somebody needs me and then I forget where the fuck I was. But anyways, my whole point is that she was kind of like, she was going on about, like, there was only 13 people in San Mateo who had it, which I was kind of like, 13 people who have been tested. If your girl thought she had coronavirus and went to get tested, you better believe I'd be turned away because they don't have enough tests. I don't have enough symptoms, etc. They kind of are waiting until people are on their deathbed to test people. At the same time, 13 sounds like a really good number. That's a pretty low number when I see all the people walking around. At the same time, here's where my real sense comes in. Y'all, do not rely on this system. Medical racism is real. I am a birth worker. I literally work with pregnant black women specifically postpartum, which is when most of us, but that's when our maternal mortality rate goes way through the roof. It's not when we're in the hospital and they're denying us real time. It's when they send us home and we're at home and we're just trying to be a soldier fucking through it. And in reality, this isn't something you should soldier through. This is something you need medical help for. And so therefore, because you've been gaslit all this time that you're just a bitch trying to get too much attention, you end up dying in your postpartum time. So anyways, my whole point is that they have excuses for not serving you. They have excuses for not serving you. They have excuses for underserving you, for under-medicating you in the best of times. That's like when nothing's fucking happening, they will underserve you during your pregnancy. They will under-medicate you during your, procedures. They will disbelieve you that you are in as much pain as you say you are in, partially because women in general are told they are drama queens. If a man comes in with a headache, he's given several pills and sent out his way. When a woman comes in, she's told she's doing too fucking much. Then it add on to that being a black woman, add on to that being a black person. You know what I'm saying? There is so much discrepancy in service. Medical racism will come full circle. Italy's worried that they had to choose people. They chose the young. Why? Because everybody there is mostly, it's mostly Italians and they understand the logic. But when you get into racism, there is not logic. They will absolutely choose an old white blue blood who has the money over you, even though you are 20, 30, 40 years old. 50 years old, have plenty of time to live, have plenty of service left to give to the society. You will not be chosen because one, you're not the right race, and two, you're not the right amount of wealth. And I hate to say that, but it's like, there came a point where I just kind of had to like nod and let this woman think I was like an idiot who just was overprotective of her kids and her situation. But in reality, my brain was thinking, honey, I'm a black woman. Like, you're a woman of color. You come off pretty indigenous in look. She's a South American woman. But it's like, how you come off will come off different from how I come off. She'll go in and they'll see a cute grandma. They'll see a cute abuelita who's very small and very needs protection. I come in and they want strength. They want to see the fire behind what the fuck it is I do. Even when I'm sick, y'all, even when I come in and my body is killing me, I feel that pressure from the medical community, from other communities. Even when I was pregnant, even from my own doula, sometimes I felt pressure to be this strong woman. And I couldn't even relax then. Even when I gave birth to my son inside the hospital, I had to look into the eyes of a white doctor who was scared because I had a water birth and comfort that bitch during my moment. So it's like, I know in those moments in medical whatever, you cannot rely on these people. You always have to be on your shit. The best way to do this is to just not get sick. I hate to say it. I hate to be a part of that. But it's like, if you're being vigilant, don't be embarrassed. Don't let anybody talk you out of being vigilant, because your family is the first at risk. Black families are the most at risk. It's Detroit. It's New York. It's Louisiana. It's the parts of California who are getting hit the most. That's people of color area. That's Black and Latino. It's not rocket science to see who's just not getting items. And it's funny because, not funny, but it's who votes against certain interests. It's the urban areas. They just don't want us to be a part of this. They were willing to sacrifice us. They're willing to send us to the front line, just like regular war. Just like regular war, it's the poor, it's your sons and daughters who are being sent out there to die and not given adequate health care to deal and mitigate with what they're being sacrificed to do. So I urge all Black people, please keep being vigilant. Don't fall for the rhetoric. Don't fall for other people's lifestyles, because it may be true for them, but it isn't true for you. It is not true for you. What she said was absolutely true for her. I'm sure she can walk around without a mask. I'm sure people out here are going to treat her with respect. If she believes she's going to get into the hospital with her brown ass and they're going to take care of her, that's on her. I don't believe it for a second that my poor ass, with lack of adequate, expensive health care, I do, thankfully, I'm poor enough to fall under Medicare, or, well, I was recently enough that it lasts for a full year. So I have health care. My babies have health care. My husband just got a new job because thankfully he's a plumber. It's something that people need no matter what occurs. So he has health care through work again, randomly. But even when you have that health care, they play you in the hospital. I had health care when I had my twins. They still play you in the hospital, and they if you question anything, they make it sound like you're the problem because you're not just accepting whatever crumbs you're given. I don't fall for that rhetoric, and I hope you don't either. Please stay safe. May your ancestors and spirit guides be with you at every crossroads.